This story that I'm about to share, it's a very bittersweet story, but it's the end of an era, man. It's the end of an era. Game Informer magazine is shutting down after 33 years. For those that are not too familiar, I hope you are familiar with this because, we're a nerd channel. We're a bunch of gaming nerds, video game nerds, tech nerds, you just nerds over here. Is a video game magazine that started back in 1991 and just became a staple for gamers worldwide. From its in depth reviews and its previews to industry insights, Game Informer is basically a go to for a lot of gamers across all ages. I remember seeing Game Informer in like a cousin's house and just scrolling through it and seeing reviews on certain games to interviews with certain developers. It was an amazing magazine. And when GameStop was kind of decent, their what was it, their Power Pro membership or something like that offered Game Informer um every month. So I was getting these subscriptions or these magazines every month, and I was part of me always looked forward to it because I wanted to see any upcoming games that might be coming out, any interviews that was happening with developers. Hell, I remember one magazine in particular or one issue in particular that I think it had a interview with Hideo Kojima, and I think it was talking about either Silent Hills. Yeah, it was Silent Hills. This is when Hideo Kojima was still with Konami, and it was talking about the Silent Hills PT and his plans and thoughts for Silent Hills before Konami became Konami and let go of the project and Kojima entirely. But essentially, I remember specifically reading that Hideo Kojima wanted this game to shit your pants. He was working with Junji Ito. He was working with Guillermo del Toro. This game was going to be this crazy horror experience, and Konami just kind of scrapped it until I believe sometime last year or the year before, where they announced Silent Hills Forte, or they announced a bunch of Silent Hills project. But anyways, I'm getting off track. Point is being, I read that information within a Game Informer magazine and give some highlights on how crazy of a run they've had. And over the years, I think back in 2000, they reached over 1 million subscribers. So that basically cemented their place as a leading gaming publication in a whole sector where you have like Forbes magazine and a bunch of other magazines. Game Informer really stood out. And by 2010, it became the third largest magazine in the United States by circulation. They featured exclusive looks at some of the biggest games that we know now, including like Halo 2, Elder Scrolls, Skyrim, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. So it's crazy that this such a iconic magazine is shutting down. But the main reason it appears to be is the changing landscape of just media, like how people are consuming media with the rise of digital media, YouTube channels, and streaming platform. Traditional print magazines just have just faced significant challenges. Game Informer's parent company, GameStop, has also been struggling financially. So, it just kind of came to a point where they have to come to this decision. So unfortunately, it's just the way the nature things go. Considering the fact that I'm covering certain gaming news and tech news, and there's multiple channels doing this, just traditional magazines are just don't cut it anymore. It's just much faster to get information from a YouTube video or going online and just finding an article than waiting month after month just to be able to get a portion of news. I guess in a way it's just a slower way to get news, and it wasn't able to keep up with the times. So, it's not just about the decline of print media. Game Informer's editorial team faced many layoffs and budget cuts over the years. So it was just making it harder to maintain the quality and the the coverage that they're known for. And despite their efforts of trying to adapt to, digital editions, just pushing out Game Informer as I guess I would think it was like a newsletter or just like a PDF file or something like that. The economic challenges just kind of just caught up with them. But, let's not forget the immense impact Game Informer had on the gaming community. They brought us a bunch of memorable stories and insightful reviews and exclusive behind the scenes look at certain game developments. Many of us grew up reading Game Informer and, we were just waiting for the next issue to hit stands or just come in the mail, myself included, like I mentioned earlier. Most known reviews or covers or things that they did was the first ever issue featuring Mortal Kombat or the exclusive Grand Theft Auto 5 cover story. And they had even had special edition covers for the Legend of Zelda series. Those covers of the magazine were, honestly iconic. So Game Informer also played a significant role in shaping gaming journalism. They set a high standard for integrity and depth in the reporting. So they inspired a lot of people and content creators to do what they do, now. It's sad to see Game Informer close its doors, but their legacy is going to live on with all the gaming within the gaming community, all the nerds, all the game reviewers, Game Ranks. I think Falcon is from Game Ranks. What culture and things like that. So Game Informer has been a huge impact on the community, and their influence it's going to be felt for years to come. So all the writers, editors, staff, members pour their heart into making Game Informer what it was. Yeah, on behalf of all the gaming communities, we thank you.